force Roccat to come up there and try and fight them, and then lose to the Alliance combo. Good thing for them. But again, Roccat, we need to see how much they can actually do early on with the very strong combo, and also teamfight-wise. You have a lot of CC you can chain down with both Cocoon, you have obviously the Renekton stun, you have the Varus ultimate, the stun from Annie. It's a lot of CC you can bring down on someone like a Vayne, or cast it in to more or less kill them instantly.
Now we're going to find out Alliance versus Roccat here at level 1. Will we see anything funky from them, man? Don't think we will, particularly considering how, as you've mentioned now a few times, that this early game is really everything as to how this game is going to get set up.
And it's very rare when we see the early invades that it's actually worth it, because you also use some of your summoners, or you at least under risk of using your summoner, and the first blood goal have been reduced. You don't have any wards to place early on that's going to stay for a long time. So it's very normal we see this standard lanes. And we see actually Dawn Shield on both supports. So it signals we're going to get a 2v2.
2v2 looking likely from this one. As you mentioned, Roccat have the stronger lanes when it comes to the heads-up matches in these ones, and with that, you'd expect that Shook and Jankos are going to play big roles in getting this game going.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of mind games between those two. If one of them can catch someone out in a counter gank, turn it around, that's one thing Alliance can have for them. If Shook can get going on this Sin, if he can have some good ganks early on, he will be able to help out these lanes, and then Alliance will be very strong going into the late game.
Well, let's see, as we do hit 140 and the trinket wards start to come out. One put in the river there, which Shook did get full vision of, so they know that they've got that vision around there. But I'm expecting that this standard happens, that Shook backs off to blue buff with Wicked. We've already seen Jankos and Zazas heading up towards their red buff, and things are going to get underway in the standard manner. Mid lane though, let's talk about this one, because it's been a while since we've seen this one. Back in Season 3 pretty much. Kassadin versus Kha'Zix.
And so Kassadin have the advantage with firing his Q from range, but every time he closes in for a CS, Kha'Zix can walk up to him, activate his Q, do a lot of damage to him. But Froggen actually getting the best start. He's also having the Thorn Shield, so he will have some defensive stats against this damage from overpower.
See that putting some good damage in the bottom lane. Oh, Roccat Nif down to less than half HP already. However, he is going to be bringing up his hook here shortly as well, so we'll see how that one all works out for them, whether they go for anything at level 2.
And the way the bottom lane is going at the moment is what we can expect to see, because Varus will be able to poke a lot onto taps. Same goes obviously for Annie, so it will be hard for him, and you see him just moving around. He just want to get into XP range of the minions when they die, but he can't actually go in for the last hit.
And they're doing a good job of actually zoning them out as much as he can there. And there is level 2 going to be hit by Roccat. And there's the damage straight away onto Tabs. He steps forward to hit one minion, and he loses pretty much a third of his health by doing so. Does that mean that we're going to be seeing a lot more focus specifically from Shook down towards his bottom, with Roccat pushing that lane a little bit further out?
There's at least a very good chance that he can join in, get the lantern from Nif, set up a gank, because when you're this aggressive from the Roccat side, you are in position to actually get hooked by Nif. And then if he's there, join in, pick up a kill. And we've seen when SK play Vayne, Sven can always do an early gank and a lot of aggression to Nif.
There is the damage coming down. The hook will actually land on towards Vander. Condemn against the wall. Ignite is down. Have they got the damage here? Vander flashes and Jankos comes around. First blood did actually happen there for Vander in the end of it. He was running away, but his Ignite was enough to finish off Nif.
Well, it's actually a very scary fight for Roccat side, because he got hooked at the wall, so he got knocked in by taps, a lot of damage onto him, but simply also because Jankos could join in, help pick up the first blood. Nice play, and they get this early kill they actually really want to this bot lane.
Just see how this mid lane all works out as well. Froggen isn't level 6, of course, just yet, so he's not got that innate escape ability that he's going to be relying on later on. Does play this one wisely, though, sticking to that top side of the mid lane where he knows his jungler's going to be waiting. There is the dive in. Froggen going to get the protection, but they're going on towards Shook. He's the squisher of the two. Shook gets the kill, dives out, but Jankos will return, gets the kill back, 1 for 1.
And both junglers actually pick up the kill, so nothing changes here, except for the fact that Froggen is still alive, staying in this lane, or at least trying to, but now Jankos want to push him out of the lane. Froggen, if he could stay around, he would get some XP, maybe a small advantage to him over overpower. But yeah, all in all, Jankos doing a good job trying to push him out.
And got his double buffs reset as well, which is always a nice thing. And he's going to go in towards Froggen here. Q comes down. Can he finish this one off? Flash away from Froggen. Had to.
Very greedy actually going in for the minion, forcing himself to flash. He knew there was repel ready on Elise to join in or jump onto him and then force his own flash. So very risky play, but he definitely wanted that last piece of gold.
We've seen there in the bottom lane another brief exchange between the two AD carries. Celiva, who got the assist from earlier on, and there is a teleport, which we didn't touch on. We saw it in that last game, actually, with Kassadin, that the teleport came in. There is Jankos coming in. Wisely this time, Alliance have got a ward in the brush, though.
And that's the thing with this double teleport. Aurelia, obviously, Wicked bring in the teleport as well. We need to see if they actually want to go to 2 different lanes, and then actually going aggressive Froggen.
If a cocoon lands, Froggen is surely dead from this one. They're waiting. He dodges the cocoon, but he's not going to dodge the damage. Jankos, the spider, kills him. That's 2 kills already for Jankos.
And Froggen paid the price for staying around before going in for that minion, so he had to blow his own flash just to pick up a single minion. Paid the price.
Jankos 2-0-1, getting after pretty much the dream start here. Bottom laners have started to pick up items now as well. A Vamp Scepter, Doran's Blade, of course, from the start for both. But the boots coming in here as well for Celiva. So that assist that he got earlier on, helping him out on that front. At this moment, we see that Shook's having to come around here and just defend on this mid lane, so that the turret doesn't actually take damage whilst Froggen is back at base, picking up his tier.
And Overpower have been doing a very good job getting the CS lead here. He's simply taking advantage of the fact that Froggen can either Q him and then lose the minion, or he can Q the minion and then do no damage to Overpower when he actually tries to last hit. It's a very good play by him, and also he has a very early Brutalizer now. He has less sustain, but he got the flask and a health pot, but he's going to have a lot more burst damage.
So piercing arrow coming through from Celiva, massive range that's got on it, and good chunk of damage as well if you get caught full in the face with that one. Tabs as such, sticking behind as many minions as he possibly can, trying to stay as close to safety as possible.
But Tabs have been doing an amazing job CSing under the turret. He's actually ahead at the moment, and with these minions pulling even further ahead. So he's doing a very good job together with Nif, getting all the CS they want.
There's Jankos 2-0-1 after early kills. On his way around, has actually picked up Sorcerer's Shoes here, so got himself a nice bit of penetration early on, as we do see Tabs taking a lot of damage. Piercing arrow does come through once again, but here is the Lantern Gang. Shook trying to get in. Can he land the Q on towards Vander? No, it lands on towards Celiva, but that's not the target he wanted. He backed straight off.
Celiva actually stopped up to block the Q because he didn't want to go into Vander, who didn't have a flash. Meanwhile, though, Roccat going for this blue buff because they know both their laners are actually ahead.
No problem taking it either. Not a single man from Alliance there to stop them going in for that one. We've seen Alex Hitch playing Kha'Zix, by the way, mid lane, evolving a little bit differently than we expected. How do we expect Overpower to go?
I would expect to see him involve his Q, have a lot of focus on just the burst damage he can do. With all this CC from Roccat, lock down a target, everyone goes on the same one, he jumps it, gets the reset, and then he moves on. And that's why I expect him to actually involve the Q.
Still a lot of damage from Froggen coming in, but Overpower not backing off, as though he kind of is waiting and baiting Froggen to come in and play that game with that one, as we are going to see Jankos doing a lot of damage here to Shook inside of the jungle. That's that early penetration we were talking about. And Overpower and Froggen do have a little bit of a carry on in mid lane, but nothing too serious. Well, look at this. They've obviously set their sights on Alliance's buffs, because they've not only taken the red buff, blue buff away, now they're going to have the red, and Alliance have backed off. They can't do anything.
And here's the thing, they're actually playing this perfect early game wise because, again, they know the laners are stronger in these early fights, so they just simply go into the buffs of Alliance, don't even care about Alliance being nearby. If they join in, they will win the fight from Rockat's side, so they're just using the advantage of stronger laners.
Nope, and Jankos just throws a ward over and sees that both Froggen and Shook were waiting in there. I think was quite obvious. The fact that Shook knew this red buff had gone, would probably try and challenge over on the other side of the map, but now that he's lost positional advantage, Jankos going to go in there, absolutely destroying that red buff, and he'll just refresh the one that he stole earlier.
And Overpower actually decided to involve his E early on, so he's going to get the reset, see if he can pick up a kill in, for instance, a teamfighter Dragon. And again, this very CC-heavy team from Roccat, if they can lock down a target, he will be getting the reset and can continue jumping around. So we need to see at the next time when he can actually involve, if he's going for the Q.
It'll be interesting seeing how he really gets rolling on that one. Got himself that Brutalizer in there already, 2 assists to his name, of course, and he's about 4 or 5 CS in the lead over his opposite number, Froggen, who, again, we're wondering, Kassadin managing to get through as Zazas here. Going to have a bit of a tiff with Wicked, but is he going to be able to actually take him down? And is he going to try? He popped the dominance, but it was all about damage.
I mean, again, we actually have to give credit to Alliance here. Notice the lanes. Wicked keeping up in CS, Froggen keeping up in CS, and down in the bot lane, Tabs is actually winning at the moment. So despite them having strong, weaker laners on paper, they're doing a very good job farming here and keeping up with Roccat.
Janko's going to go now. He's done both camps on both sides of the map, so maybe now time to get involved in the lanes if there's an opportunity. Right now, bottom, not really. You've got both Tabs and Nif who've backed away, and well, this may be the option for him. We see Overpower coming down. We see that Vander is going to join them. Selva just keeping the bottom lane of Alliance locked in position there in the bottom lane, and this is a freebie.
Very smart play, very safe, because they put down the pink ward, so they know there's no vision for Alliance side. They could only have a ward in the river bush up here. Yes, they do have 2 teleports. They would be able to teleport down. But all in all, a very nice play. Now going on to Taps.
Oh, good early flash, but he's going to get locked. Wow, Tibbers, you're in the wrong place, my friend. And at least he's on the map. That's what they were aiming for. Get a 6th man in the team and all's good.
Very good lantern though from Nif. Instant reactions when he saw the stun coming down. Taps per clg, get into tower range, and also dodge the Tibbers.
So that leaves them with a couple of ultimates less. Exactly 2, in fact, down in that bottom lane. The ultimate out of Varus and Annie both being burnt during that one. Good play though, as you said, by Nif. And honestly, Tabs keeps that CS lead at this point. Still doing very, very well on that front. Mid lane, Froggen is caught right up as well on towards Overpower. Just a couple of CS between those two.
And that's a big issue for Roccat, the fact that they have actually 2 threats now they need to shut down, both Froggen and Taps down in the bot lane. You don't want Vayne or Kassadin to get the farm early on, so they become these really, really strong champions. They have been doing a good job though, getting the buffs, they got the dragon, so they've been taking things around the map, and now going aggressive on Vander.
Yeah, because we do have Lee Sin coming in, comes down with the lantern. Vander's dead, not going to be able to escape from that one. Too much lockup potential, and as soon as that box goes down, and I mean, he did have a flash there, Vander, but he probably would have flashed and been slowed completely anyway, and then once the Lee Sin Q would have hit him, it would have been game over for him. That's 3-2 in kills for Roccat, who still have about 1,000 gold lead.
And that was the perfect gang we talked on earlier. When you have Fresh, throw back the lantern, Lee Sin takes it, jumps in there, and wisely enough by Vander, no reason to flash him. Wicked now going on to Zazus.
Yeah, Zazus going to have to pop his ultimate here, but I think Wicked may just have the better of him more. No, that's a lot of damage that Zazus actually puts back on him. Tiamat Renekton.
Tiamat, he also had Ignite to the teleport of Wicked, and Wicked already used his ultimate, so he didn't have more damage to bring, that's why he backed off. But he actually did get the ultimate and the Ignite from Zazus, so worth it for him, because he can still stay in the lane and farm.
Curious when we see Overpower moving around a little bit more. He's quite content at this point to see that Froggen's there with him and not doing any roaming of his own to get these lanes really moving. Well, this is another thing. Second round of blue buff spawning in. Don't think they actually had a timing on it there, Alliance, because there was no vision on it before.
Exactly, they didn't have the timer, that's why Shug is in completely missed position. He's down towards the bottom lane, wasn't even close for Wicked going on Zazus again.
Ooh, this is very risky though. He's got no mana pretty much left from that one. Jankos is waiting and he's... why did Wicked back away? That's because there's a ward in there. Use that sweeping lens just to clear things out. And they might be able to get some good turret damage here, because I don't imagine Wicked will stay.
Wicked have to back at the moment. He has no mana left. So very smart move actually by Jankos coming up here, pressing down the turret. They will be able to pick it up if they stay around.
And it looks like it will be that first turret of the game. Taking us a while here. 13.5 minutes almost into our 5th match of day 2 of Super Week. And now we see Lee Sin coming towards the mid lane. Overpower doesn't have vision of him, but Lee Sin's actually recalling. I think just testing to see what Overpower's going to do there.
So again, Roccat is doing everything perfect on the map. They got the dragon, they got the blue buff twice, took the top turret now because also Renekton could force Aurelia to use all her mana. But they're still not winning in CS, and that's the issue, and that's what Alliance can just rely on here. They can just say, you know what, we don't mind losing these things, because as long as we farm, we will be so strong when it comes later in the game, and that's what they're doing at the moment.
Jankos is coming down bottom now though. This could be interesting. Pretty much going to take Tibbers to come out from it. We see that ward in the brush there where Vander is. Ah, very smart. Pink
Too
ward.
obvious.
But for me, yeah, I was going to say, that's a very much Captain Obvious move.
Yeah, there's only one reason you will pink there, and that's obviously if you're about to set up a gank. So wise enough, you see both Nif and Taps moving all the way down to the turret, taking no chance.
Froggen bursting on towards Overpower, and bear in mind, he's not got any damage extra in him right now with that tier, and moving up there as well towards his Rod of Ages. Not really got any damage items, and still he's able to chunk Overpower down like that.
That's also why he's just happy farming. He doesn't want to set up fights with Shug at the moment. And Shug just came in there, made sure Froggen could get the CS on the turret, then he backed off, went back to the jungle, and continued farming. We've only seen Shug actually being active with 2 things. First, there was obviously the fight in mid lane against Jankos and also Overpower, and then he went down bot when we saw the hook from Nif. And he's actually been doing his job. He's picking up the kills he needed, and also he made sure to defend his lanes if they needed.
AD carries have also built up there. I'd say AD carries more specific on this one. Tab's got his Blade of the Ruin King done. Other side, Bloodthirster not quite finished off until now by Celiva, who has wrestled back the CS lead on this one, albeit just by 5. Not really much to talk about. Roccat, in the meantime, in the mid lane is also now feeling a little bit more comfortable. He's got his Rod of Ages just picked up there as well, so he's going to try and assert some dominance onto Overpower.
Generally just a very good start for Froggen, getting a lot of farm, getting the early items he wants. That really needs to be stacking up to be very strong. We need to see though when the next dragon spawns here in 48 seconds, if Alliance wants to contest. Or are they just happy giving it over to Roccat? They don't actually have the timer because it was a ping board from Rockat's side, so there's no vision from Alliance. So we will see what happens. Of course they have to double teleport, so they can maybe go up to top lane, try and take the turret in exchange.
There is Overpower picking up his blue buff as well. 30 seconds for Dragon coming in.
And now actually Kha'Zix involves his Q, so we will get this single target burst onto the CC. He can provide, try and get the kill, get the reset, and then jump on.
Dangerous times possibly for Alliance incoming here. As you mentioned, those teleports are both available now. Zaza's not got teleport, he has to take the long, arduous journey down from that top lane in towards the river so that they can fight over this dragon, which is now spawned in. Roccat going to be pushing this mid lane up completely. Bottom lane actually held in the middle by Alliance, but we can see that Roccat is putting as much damage as they can onto this mid turret. And I tell you what, they might just be able to take this one away.
It's such a good move by Roccat because, again, no threat of them losing this dragon due to the fact that Alliance didn't have the timer. They don't have one ward, but they're not in a position to fight at the moment. So Roccat, instead of moving 5 people down for dragon, they didn't need it. They just put 2 into the mid turret, took that one. Yes, Wicked can pick up the top turret, but still worth it for Roccat.
2 out of 2 dragons. There's a hook. He actually lands onto Vander, but you might just be hooking Tibbers into the rest of your team. There is Tibbers. Vander flashed away.
Whoa.
The Lee Sin Q already hit him. Actually, was Nif's Ignite that got the kill in the end. And once again, we see supports picking up the kills left and right. It's a 1 for 0 in favor of Alliance. Brings them level on kills. Yes, they lost the dragon, but that was almost a free kill they got.
Yeah, and every time Shug is around his bot lane, they feel comfortable fighting. So we see the hook coming in, and then he simply joins in. And due to the damage from his Q over the wall, the Ignite from Nif could actually pick up the kill.
A return for Tabs. What is he going to add into that Blade of the Ruin thing that we saw him pick up just a little bit earlier on? His opposite number, Celiva, already, well, just finishing off that Bloodthirster as well. Wicked slowly but surely working himself into the Trinity Force. Got himself Phage and Sheen, the 2 parts of that one. And that's what he's gone for, the Warden's Mail in there first, and then we'll slowly build up to that Trinity Force. And also seeing, oh look, blue buff's gone again. So
now they actually get the timer. Here you can time it and say, we know when the blue buff is going to spawn. Next one, we are ready to fight for it. Obviously, Roccat don't have the timer because they didn't actually have vision. Oh, they do have a ward behind. But you see action in bot.
Yankov's getting hooked, and his stun was built up for Vander on Annie, but I think they realized, hang on a minute, they didn't back off whatsoever when they saw that we were 3 in that bottom lane. That must mean that Shuk is around there somewhere, and Roccat have completely backed off onto the turret, not even wanting to get involved in that.
Going back to the blue bot though, I'm not sure if Roccat actually have the timer because the ward doesn't give vision of this area.
Yeah.
So they have seen Wicked obviously recalling around there, but they didn't know when he actually cleared it. So they won't have, we will see what they do actually when the next one spawns. For Wicked, while he did lose his turret, he's still been farming very well, and with the early armor he picked up with the Warden's Mill, that's what you want to do against Renekton, to stop a lot of his damage. He's been doing well farm-wise, and he will actually be very strong now with the Trinity Force.
That's interesting. Alliance got control of that bottom lane with the presence of Shuk. They recalled, and Roccat said, we know you've recalled, we're going to come straight into that one. As Vander and Shuk don't actually know if they really saw each other there, but the Q's going to land. There's the kick. Oh, into the hook. It doesn't get much better than that, I'm afraid. Tabs picks up the kill onto Celiva. They might not be done just yet. Q landed onto Overpower. He will walk off though, no follow, but what a combo from Alliance.
Absolutely beautiful. Kicking him back, and Nif is just like, yeah, I'll catch that. Throws the hook.
Brilliant, brilliant stuff from Alliance. That puts them back in the leading kill. Still behind by 2,000 gold. But look at Wicked. He's pushed up that lane once again. He's got that Trinity Force in there now, but he's going to have Zazas coming in his way. Tiamat and also that random Intonement. Wicked decides, I'm probably going to just back off from this. Now Alliance going to make a play. They've actually gone on towards him, and there is Kha'Zix, gets himself the 1 kill. Can they get any more? A Cocoon from Jankos would be really the number that they're looking for, but actually Shook's in there. Here comes the teleport. Froggen going to join in as well. They're going very low. Tabs does take down Overpower, and that is going to be brilliant once again from Alliance. Jankos going pretty low. Will he dive in? Q connected, but no, Jankos walks away.
And Wicked also tried to teleport down, but he got interrupted in the mid lane by Renekton. If he had joined in, they could have gone for more. Also picking up at least a few more kills, but Froggen coming down with the teleport. Very nice turnaround from Alliance, but we also saw the burst potential of Rocket's combo here when they landed CC and then Overpower jumped in. Now going on to Wicked.
Ooh, Wicked is caught in a little bit of a difficult position there, but the presence of Froggen gonna cause them some problems, and look at the damage he puts in there on towards Celeber. He's not done, he's gonna keep going from this one possibly. Look at this, Shook's coming around the side. Can he land the Q? More damage comes in, he goes off. Oh, and he misses. Q not quite landing onto either of them there. Good try nonetheless from Alliance.
And this Kassadin is going to be such a big issue. Picking up all the farm he wants, he has the early items he wants again. He will be so hard to deal with, and now with the teleport, obviously on cooldown, he won't be able to make a lot of plays unless he roams by himself until he's ready again. But we just saw the power of having his teleport. When there's a gang down in bot lane, he was in favor of Roccat, but then 2 members just started teleporting. One got interrupted, but the other one joined, picked up a kill.
That leaves Alliance 5-4 in the lead. Still behind in gold though. That's something that they're going to have to try and remedy. They are a turret behind, so that's really where that one is coming from. Of course, they did lose out on both dragons so far in this game. That's something that Roccat have done well.
That's the thing again. Roccat have been doing everything perfect with the combo, except for actually winning on CS in the lanes. They've taken the buffs, they've taken the dragons. The last one, there was a ward from Alliance though, so they saw them moving in there and moving away, so they will have the timer on it, and we can then see for the next dragon if they actually want a team fight, or they're just happy, constantly farming, extending the game as much as possible, because again, Kassadin Vayne, and also Vayne with 2 kills. Very scary things like this.
Maybe an understatement later on, we'll see. And we know how mechanically good Tabs is well. He showed that time and time again. Of course, a former mid laner with the most fearsome fizz in the world he was at one point.
Definitely.
And, well, now playing his trade in the bottom lane. He's actually building up that Trinity Force as well. So going the Candy Panda way that we've seen, pretty much the exclusive Vayne player so far here in the LCS. Aside from a couple of other appearances, but we've got 30 seconds till Dragon. That means both teams going to start clearing out. Nif is going to get caught from this one. He is going to play, but does he have a flash? No, he doesn't. He's dead.
Look at the damage from Overpower already. Bloodthirster, he has the Brutalizer. So much single target burst he can put down, and that is the scary thing again for Alliance. And this time around, with Nif being dead, even though they have the timer, they can't actually fight for this one. And Wicked, he's still also staying in the top lane. Or will they actually try and fight? Sasu's left top, so it's only 4 members from Roccat here. They could actually go in for it.
They've just given their position away.
Oh.
Put a wall down over the top of the wall. And Overpower is thinking, can I have a go at Tabs? Can I kill him before Wicked will get the better of me here? Lander coming up, that will certainly make the process a little bit easier. Wicked. And there we go, he's going to jump in onto him. In fact, Zazas is there as well. There's the stun. Wicked down below half HP. He's dead, he's walking away. Ah, he's not, maybe not dead just yet.
Oh,
wow,
the
piercing
snipe.
arrow, snipe from Celeber. Will pick them up that one. Very, very interesting stuff. Again, Wicked caught completely by surprise.
And for the second time around this dragon, Roccat is using the superior vision control they have in this river with the pink ward up there to actually get the kills. Now Shook, he wants maybe trying to steal this one, but it's very hard. Now he backs off wisely.
Backs away, and Overpower came in there trying to look for some more damage onto him. That's Baron 3, wow. Dragon 3 of the game, all 3 of them going over to Roccat.
But again, that pink ward in the push we see right down here in the river definitely paid off, giving 2 kills and a dragon now for Roccat.
And possibly a turret here if Alliance aren't careful about things. Froggen was down the bottom lane, no teleport, so his split pushing power becomes a little bit less effective until that teleport does get back up, which will be in a second. And here's that blue buff we were talking about earlier on. Jankos actually going to steal that one away again, and Celeber says, Jankos, please clear out the camp so we know when it spawns again.
Get the timer. It's actually been up for a while because Alliance was kept busy down here towards the dragon. And Nif, he needs to be careful. He's been caught out a few times already.
Possibly real bad news for Alliance. There we go. Ultimate's coming left and right. Nif going to be picked up first. There is a good box coming down. And actually, the damage is coming back here. It's going pear-shaped for Roccat. Wicked picks up one. Can they get on towards Bandit? No, they'll be happy to take out Zazas. And Froggen does get himself a kill there finally. They lost tabs in that one, but it was a 2-for-1.
And the fact that it's the support and jungler walking in first, taking all the damage, meant that the rest of the lines come in and the hook.
Oh, he might have a lot of damage, but he's got no health. He's a dead man. 3-for-1. They're going to have the turret away, and to be honest, Alliance might think about keeping going on this one. Froggen tanking up the turret. Not really what he wanted, but that was a pure win for Alliance.
Pure win. The trap from Roccat was smart, but he just completely backfired because it was Nif walking in first together with Shook. They took all the damage, all the CC onto them, and the box and the flay he put up knocked them away. Notice here the trap. Look here, he was going first. Straight onto Nif, a lot of damage, then he flays Sasus actually when he tries to dash in, puts it up, and Froggen, he comes in from behind here. And look at Silverbark. Flashing away, nope, Kassadin is there, Lee is there, and obviously Aurelia taps. Is taking actually 2 members, keeping them away from the rest. So he did his job more or less. And it simply also meant that when the kill was there for Overpower, he didn't have anyone to jump to now because the rest of his team were already running away.
8-17 kills. It's been pretty much back and forth the kill counter throughout this one. And while the gold counter has stayed in one direction, though, we have to say, Roccat are still ahead here, albeit by less than 1,000 gold at this point.
But they are ahead with a very strong early game laning phase combo, and also with a combo that really needs to be careful when dealing with these very mobile champions. So we need to see some very good CC coming out. We need the cocoons, we need obviously the stun from Sasus, and then we just need to see Roccat pile onto them, and hopefully not Nif the next time.
We talk about Roccat and their position in the table, but if you look at their past 5 games, there's not that much to celebrate, actually, if you're a Roccat fan, except the win against Gambit, of course, which was a magical time for us all.
He stole it.
Nice steal from Shock. They've only picked up 1 win in the last 5 games. A loss against Alliance would actually mean that they're on a pretty bad run of things.
Things generally for Roccat, we actually talked with the coach, Veggie. You interviewed him on one stage where he said, our early game has been too weak. There's also been the issue in the games they actually lost, and that could be one of the reasons we see this very strong combo for them here early on. And again, they actually have more or less lost it the early game, because yes, they got all the objectives, and now Shook going very aggressive.
Oh, he's going to have to kick them away, and takes a lantern as well. That was calmly played by Shook, and actually Alliance aren't done here by the looks of things. They're going to keep working their way around. They're in full vision of Roccat. Roccat are in full vision of them. There is the sweeping lens to take it out. The blue buff is still alive, and to be honest, Roccat have had all of Alliance's blues pretty much this game. Alliance wanted one back, but in the end, too dangerous for them.
So finally, Roccat can actually pick up the blue. And as I said before, don't get me wrong on this, Roccat have been doing a good job early game getting the objective, but the fact they haven't been able to shut down Kassadin or Vayne or Aurelia is the issue, and it showed the weak early game for them, this game at least, laning-wise.
And that's become more and more of an issue as things goes on. There's a red buff for Tabs when he does finally take it down. That'll be good times for him. Trinity Force and that Blade of the Ruin King. If you look over the other side, the Bloodthirster and Last Whisper, and actually going a little bit defensive here is Celeber.
He has to do it. Kassadin is going to jump onto him, Lee Sin is going to jump to him, and obviously Wicked is going to jump to him. Something like a Banshee can take a lot of the upfront damage from a Kassadin, so it is a wise item, but they can pop it with Wicked just going in there, popping his Q towards him. He will still get to him and just do no damage, but he's still going to pop the Banshee, and then Froggen can jump in afterwards.
That's just trying to figure out if they could actually catch out Froggen, which for me, you're probably never going to do against the Kassadin, especially one whose flash is going to be coming up off cooldown as well. And interesting thing for me is Overpower. We've seen how much single target damage he's got, but tankiness is definitely not there for him at this point. He got hooked and was dead instantly, and if he dies without getting the resets and picking up kills in the fights, they've lost so much damage from their composition.
Him and Froggen are actually trying to play the same way in team fights. They want to stay back at first, then they notice a low target, and then they jump in. If they go in as the first one, they're obviously just going to get blown up. It's easy for Roccat to even stun Froggen if he goes in first, with all the CC they got. So both of them are looking to play the same style of team fights, and it's just a matter of the other people on the team. Can they get someone low? So the first one, so one of them can jump in, and then obviously we have the reset from Overpower, which is going to be the key thing in these fights.
Now we're going to see the point of the game where it comes to dancing around Baron. We're almost half an hour into this game now, and we can already see that walls have started to come in and been cleared out straight away afterwards.
And that's a perfect thing for Alliance if it's coming down to the Baron dance, because they have the double teleport. Wicked is in the bot lane, nobody's there to stop him at the moment, and if someone moves there, rest of Alliance is around Baron, they can just start it. But for now though, Dragon has spawned, timer for both teams, they know it's up. Let's see what actually happens.
Morgan is on that top side again. Just to reiterate, teleport is there for him. Wicked is actually on the bottom side of the Dragon Pit at this point. It looks like the Alliance have decided not to go for this one. We are going to see Shook there at the backside, but he doesn't even try to get in. And that is Dragon number 4 going over to Roccat.
And Alliance clearly showing they don't want a team fight at the moment, just focus on pushing out every single lane. Froggen is having a good wave with him towards his top turret, and now the rest of Alliance is rotating up there to get some damage on it.
Good positional play. Roccat are following them though. Will they be able to get anything kicked off? There's the vision that they wanted. Vander moving in, and in the end, Alliance back straight off.
And meanwhile, Wicked down in the bot lane, onto the turret. Nobody from Roccat is close, nobody has teleport, they can go down there. You see Sasus trying to run all the way, and now an engage.
Oh, they're going towards Overpower. He actually pops his ultimate there in the end just to get away from things, and that is going to be dangerous, dangerous stuff for them. And just the trap set up, and there is his ultimate actually timing out. We can see he's recalling in that brush on the top side, but Wicked has taken down that inner turret, and now Roccat have to decide, what do we do about this one? They've sent Zazus there to deal with him, but it leaves just 2 men, possibly 3 with Elise hanging around to defend top.
Exactly, and that is the whole issue for them. They need to either full-on engage with 5 people up top, ignore Wicked when he's split pushing, try and pick up the kills they want, go towards the Baron afterwards, or they have to just spread out on the map and then follow Alliance around. Just try and 1v1 them, 2v2 them, and see if they can win them.
Or a sneaky Baron.
Or a sneaky Baron could work too.
I don't think a sneaky Baron really is something of an option in most games. Sometimes you'll get away with it where Alliance maybe take their eye off the ball for a little bit longer than they should, but just can't really see that one happening here. It looks like they're actually going to send both Froggen and Wicked down towards his bottom lane. And that's another interesting concept. You can have Froggen waiting off, trying to draw someone in towards Wicked, and before you know it, you sat in a 2v1.
Yeah, and while Sasus is very tanky, if he gets caught by these 2 members, he will die. He can't escape it, they can chase him so easily, even though he has double dash and his flash. So again, that's what Alliance can do, and they're actually playing the map very smart at the moment, because they want to make sure that if something should happen somewhere, we will have the advantage, and that's the risk-free play from Alliance again. They're not just going straight to Baron, starting it, hoping that Roccat isn't nearby. They're just moving around here, trying to outposition Roccat.
Froggen is going to jump over into that lane, and Zazus has been drawn down to it. How far will he actually come out from the base? And we can see all he does, clears out the wave, just heads back off. But he is going to go over a ward here in a second, which will give his position away, but there's minions already through, they'll spot Froggen.
And Roccat is simply thinking, we haven't seen Cassidy up in top lane, even though it was a big wave. We didn't see him mid lane. Why is not fighting? And Sasus actually went in.
Well, he's gone in there, and he might just pay the price. He's going to pop his dominance. That will get him off in towards the jungle. And with that ward that Alliance had there, they saw the rest of the Roccat team starting to close in on them. And actually, they've gone back into this one. Let's see what the plan is. It's obviously Vayne who's doing all the damage in the top lane, just going to be pushing that straight through. They know that there were 3 men inside the jungle now. Tabs is going to have his time. Wicked and Froggen could just back off there, and they know that they're going to get the numbers advantage up on the top lane.
And this kind of tactic that Alliance is pulling is one of the most annoying things to play against, because you don't feel like you have a counterplay unless you get a hard engage and then you win a team fight. And now it's Shook going in towards Jankos.
That is pretty sick stuff as well. Going in onto the minion with the teleport
Survives,
just before it dies. Survives, tanks up all the damage, and they're able to get in, but this might cost them now. Overpower getting in. There's a lantern for Wicked. That'll send him off to safety. And Shook actually waiting off to the side. Are they going to go in? They've managed to hook Overpower. This could be dangerous. Tibbers has gone down. Ultimate's been thrown in all over the place. Overpower does go down. Double kill for Froggen. It's going to not be a triple. It's Tabs that picks up that one, but he gets himself a double as well. Now it's only Zazus left alive. How is he going to escape from this team? The answer is probably not. Randuin's has popped. Zazus goes down. Triple kill for Tabs.
And the second Alliance see Roccat chasing after them. Teleport comes in from Froggen, and they land the hook on Overpower, the perfect target to hook. Goes straight in, wins the fight. Sasus, he was running from base trying to join in. And also look who got the kills. Triple kill on Vayne, double kill on Kassadin. Couldn't be more perfect.
And they're going to lose a possible 2 inhibitors for this one. Wicked has already got that inhib turret in the top lane down to less than half HP, putting some good damage in on that one. Roccat only just starting to respawn into the game, and that will be the second inhib going down. Brilliant stuff from Alliance.
So now we're at the point of the game for Rocket's side where they have 2 options. Either they walk into their own jungle, place a pink ward, and hope someone from Alliance will face check them, they instant kill that target, and then they just go Baron. Or you just run straight down 5 people, hope Alliance isn't in a position to stop it, maybe see someone like Froggen showing down bot lane without the teleport, and then you just try this desperate Baron call, which often goes wrong, but you don't really have a choice at the moment.
And Froggen now has that Void Staff added in, his Seraph's Embrace is already done, a needlessly large rod as well for him as Nif starts to clear out around that Baron area. And there's a Guardian Angel for Tabs as well, going to make it so much harder here for Roccat to actually fight them straight up and have any chance of winning.
The combo from Alliance, as soon as they got out of the laning phase after doing so well, it just signals very dangerous things. And they've been playing the map absolutely perfect, giving no chance to Roccat. And even when Roccat actually wanted to fight, Alliance still won it. And that really signals how well they've been playing.
Alliance again grouping around. Roccat trying
are actually waiting in the pink and pink bush, so they're trying at least to set something up.
Trying to be smart about this one, but Alliance looking like they've taken a leave out of the Copenhagen Wolves' book and said no risks in this one. We play it how it's supposed to be.
And also notice the wards in the jungle of Roccat. It's going to be very hard for them to catch someone out, because with all this vision, with obviously the bot lane pushing by itself due to the inhibitor being down, Alliance can just take it easy and slow and wait for someone from Roccat to actually go back.
Shook getting Cocoon, but there is a hook coming in towards Jankos. Box goes down. Overpower's trying to get in towards Froggen, but he's dodged off to the back. Already using Zeraph's shield, but Vanda's going to be hunted on the backside. Zazas is surely going to fall as well. Froggen going on towards Celiver with the help of Tabs, and they're absolutely obliterating Roccat. The other 2 men have walked off to the side. Alliance get the 3, and they're going to go for Baron.
And once again, Alliance showing how far ahead they are, how good the champions are in these team fights. And Roccat, they had to try something. Again, we just gotta say they needed to try something.
Nexus turrets. They're actually losing the Nexus turrets here. We did see a recall finally for Jankos to actually come around, and that's going to stop that happening, but they've lost 1.
Lost 1 already, lost the Baron, lost 3 members. Again, 6 kills onto Vayne, 3 kills onto Cassidy with 9 assists. Everything is looking absolutely perfect for Alliance. And we gotta give them credit here. They've really been showing up this Super Week.
And another thing I want to point out, the stat just flickered in there. 0 dragons for Alliance. But they've done that, and they've let them go, and they've said, okay, we don't lose anything else apart from the dragon itself.
And that all boils down to the fact they won the lanes on CS, so they got actually the farm they needed. They didn't need the objectives, they were fine giving them to Roccat, didn't want to take any chances fighting with this weak early game combo, and it's just paying off for them now.
Going for the second inhibitor of the game. The super minions, of course, working up from that bottom lane, have already taken 1 Nexus turret here for Alliance. They've not got much more to take down in this base before they can call this game theirs. And there is the inhibitor going down. Lantern in position to take anyone who needs it to safety, and that's exactly what they do.
And now 2 games in a row, Cassidy have been left open. 2 games in a row, he's been very, very hard to deal with when it comes down to the team fights. I expect to see Band in the next one.
Thanks for that one, genius.
Well, it's just been open 2 times, so...
I can't imagine that Cassidy goes through the second time, but apparently that did happen, as we've just seen Overpower actually cleansing away from that one. And that Quicksilver Sash, we are going to see actually damage coming onto him. Zazas is going to go down to less than half HP, and look at the damage coming in. Froggen actually will pick up that one. It's now a 5 versus 4. They can win right here.
They can more or less finish it, because Overpower, he's taking a lot of damage every time he even jumps up. He's Froggen, he's feeling safe, jumping in, doing the damage. Only 1 turret left, 3 inhibitors down. Alliance 2 options, either they just go in and try and finish, or they play very safe and try and back off.
I think go in and try and finish right now.
I like
that
this
may
way
even
too.
be the safer thing to do for them, as we do see the ulti coming out of Celiver. Not going to make the slightest of difference to them. They hammer away on the Nexus. This is the victory for Alliance. They pick up an impressive victory over Roccat. And well, Cassidy getting through 2nd game in a row. Froggen nailed it.